Racing on turf in the Eastern Cape on Friday, looking forward to the 8-race program, of which our headliner will be the listed East Cape Nursery, and there we get to see the juveniles strut their stuff. We get underway though with race 1, which is due off at 12:30, and it's the juvenile plate for the fillies, and all the fillies in this race will be trying the 1400 metre trip for the first time. I tip in numerical order 1, 2 and 3 being my first 3 selections, leading with the East Cape Fillies Nursery winner, and that was Sound Check. So I'm going with her as my first choice. She is 2 for 2 in her latest 2 starts, looking for a hat trick here, and racing off a listed victory must definitely be respected. In saying that, there's really not much between horse number 2, All Things Nice, and Sound Check. When they met on All Things Nice's debut, All Things Nice really was caught out by greenness and went down by only 0.05 of a length. She showed fantastic improvement in her next and won under her own steam quite comfortably, and with her yard thinking she's going to enjoy the 1400, there really could be very little between those 2 horses. Number 3, Fearless Lady, I have included as my third check. On paper she should be held by Sound Check, where on her debut run she bumped Sound Check. Is better off at the weight, but not enough to negate the 4-length difference. In saying that, Fearless Lady would have needed her first run, and she did show good improvement to win next time out. So with the babies, things are always up and down as far as improvement goes, and Fearless Lady is not out of the running. Race 2, All to Come Maiden Plate. This for the fillies and mares over the mile trip. My first 3 selections here, 2, 3 and 6. Bend Not Break is an interesting new entry from the Gavin Smith yard, and she races off 3 high felt runs. She dropped the ball last time out, but her 2 runs prior to that proved that she's got ability, and the yard do say she is quirky, and as a result a bit difficult to tip, because though her homework has been good, temperament could count against her on the day, but the work she's showing is good enough. I'm going with that and tipping her for victory. A horse like number 3, Sienna, becomes an obvious inclusion on some really consistent recent form, where she's gotten even closer of late since fitted with the blinkers, and it really does look a matter of time before she finds the winner's box. Number 6 is Sarajevo. I would draw a line right through her last. Not a thing went her way on that occasion, and her previous runs point out she is capable of better. I do think we'll see some good improvement from her. Race 3 is a Pinnacle Stakes, another race for the fillies and mares, but now we're up to the 2,000 metre distance. We have some smart form in the small field, and I am leading with a Cape Raider, number 4, Follow the Star. Running out of the Glen Cotson yard, she was a winner last time out to record her 3rd career victory when beating Let's Boogie Baby over the 2,500 metre trip, so staying is something she's going to do all day. She had dropped quite a bit in the ratings, and that day jumped off a 79, not punished at all. I think 82 is a merit rating. She can be very competitive off here, and I do think she's going to be a big runner. In saying that, number 1, Calandra, who I'm tipping for second, and 2, Seeking Wisdom, are very competent horses over the 2,000 metre trip on turf here in the Eastern Cape, and they deserve the utmost respect. I will be tipping them in second and third. Race 4 sees us step even further up in trip, and they'll be racing over 2,400 metres in an open maiden plate. 1, 2 and 8 are my first 3 selections here. I'm leading with Magnum Fire, racing out of Zietman Oosthuizen yard. He races off very useful Cape form, and although he did fluff his lines a little bit last time out, his prior form was really hard knocking, and a form line that definitely stands out is his 5th behind Heartbreak Hotel when going down only just over a length. Heartbreak Hotel, of course, winning our Derby plate the other day, so that certainly catches the eye, and in what looks to be an open and, with all due respect, rather weak maiden lineup, I think Magnum Fire could have what it takes. Number 2, Inner Space, really didn't appear to enjoy trying Polly last time out, and if you go back to the run before that, we saw him racing over course and distance here and running second to his then stable companion, A Vision of Fame. I do think we need to expect better from him back on turf. Horse number 8 is Cape Battis, and she's really holding some steady form. Takes on male opposition here, but she's placed in all of her local outings and should be right there again. Race 5 is a novice plate, and the mile is the trip they'll be racing over. 8, 9 and 1 are horses of interest for me. I lead with horse number 8, which is Wings of Fire. She does take on male opposition here, but I do feel that she's got that advantage of being best weighted to help carry her, and she is certainly better than her last run suggests. I would draw a line through that. Prior to that, having beaten male opposition easily to leave the maidens over course and distance, and coming out to run a good third behind Santa Teresa in the Breeders' Guineas Plate. Santa Teresa, of course, going on to win the Breeders' Guineas, a listed event. I think we should expect a lot better from Wings of Fire. Number 9, Winter's Awakening from the Glen Cotson Yard. She is really holding form well and knocking on the door for that second career win. She is a lightly raced 5-year-old mare. I do think that you shouldn't judge her too much on that perspective, and that on the form that she races from the Cape with, she should be effective again here. Narrowly touched off in her penultimate win last visiting the Eastern Cape, going down by only 0.1 of a length. Horse number 1, Dirty Martini, well, he certainly made his presence felt on local debut last time out when sauntering home to leave the maidens by 6 3/4 lengths, beating King's Fire. Now, stepping out of the maidens is always a tricky affair, but on such an emphatic victory, he can't be left out. Race 6 is a merit-rated 97 divided handicap over the sprinting trip of 1,200 metres. And here, number 2, Global Drummer, is definitely the horse that catches my eye, and I'm tipping him to beat horse number 7, that is Saltilus, and then number 1, Sullenberger. Global Drummer has certainly got the form that makes you sit up and take notice, and although he won over 1,400 last time out, he is very well suited to course and distance here, having raced 3 times for the 2 wins and a second, and in scintillating form, certainly looks the horse to beat. In saying that, number 7, Saltilus, gets a lot of weight from him here, and Saltilus looks to be an up-and-coming individual over the sprints here in the Eastern Cape, having had only the 2 starts here for 2 victories. I think that we need to take note of him, and he's got the type of weight that even though up in class could see him be effective. Number 1 is Sullenberger, and this fellow hasn't quite bounced back to best in his last 2 runs, but his last effort over course and distance was a brilliant victory. We're actually beating Global Drummer, and that certainly is a run to take note of. So if back to best here, Sullenberger can definitely make his presence felt. Of course, the race we will all be looking forward to is our listed East Cape Nursery. Not the biggest of fields, but very, very hard to split a line between all these runners, and we have some decent individuals. The first 3 horses that catch my eye are number 3, Silver Salmon, raiding for Glen Cotton out of the Cape. And then I will follow him with number 2, Norton Sound, and number 4, Whatever Next. Now, Silver Salmon narrowly touched off on debut when going down 0.1 of a length in second behind Cosmic Highway, who came out to win their nursery, their Cape Nursery. I think that is certainly a run that needs to get taken note of, especially with the huge improvement he showed in his next to really win with ease when beating Master Archie by 3 1/4 lengths. I think that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with here and deserves the utmost respect. Number 2, Norton Sound, hasn't put a foot wrong in his 2 career runs so far. 2 runs, 2 wins. And he's a horse where you keep expecting him to get so much better. Both his races, the jockeys had to really work at him, not because of laziness or anything else, but because I do think we're going to see a lot better from Norton Sound as he goes further. And I think it really adds merit to the 2 wins that he's posted so far. So Norton Sound, he really looks to be an improving sort, and I think we'll see him in the firing line. Number 4, Whatever Next, caught by greenness on debut when going down in third behind Winter Tiger, came on in leaps and bounds to win with authority when beating Admiral Shine last time out. The yard do say he's come on even further from there. They are expecting a good run, and as such, Whatever Next should also be involved. Last of the day is a merit-rated 80 divided handicap, and they'll be sprinting over 1,200 metres. First pick for me here is number 5, Evie's First, tipping him to beat number 1, Torrio Lake, and then the likes of number 6, Lucky Dancer. Evie's First has been a revelation since coming back to race on turf off of a break, and he's really just found his legs. He's flourished and he's really strengthened up. He's in some great form. He's been the runner-up in both of his latest starts behind decent individuals, and I do think that we're going to see him really give this another good crack. For me, definitely got a winning chance. In saying that, number 1, Torrio Lake, 6-year-old Gelding by Oratorio, another in absolutely brilliant form. He took on a stellar field in the first leg of the World Sports Betting East Cape Poly Challenge last time out and gave a fantastic account of himself, when by all rights he should have been outclassed. I think that needs to be respected. Rating out of the Cotton Yard is number 6, Lucky Dancer. Isn't he versatile? He's actually won from 1,000 to 2,000 meters. So even though he cuts back here, you can't really write him off. And having won over 1,400 to notch up his 4th career victory, he's down another furlong here, but I do think the type of form that he's holding at the moment, he's not without chance. The PA will kick off in race 2, and in the first leg of the PA, I think the 2 horses will be enough. I think that number 2, Bend Not Break, really has the form from the high felt to bounce up and take victory. And number 3, Sienna, running in really consistent vein of form at the moment, must also be included. Race 3, also 2 horses, 1 and 4. I do think Calandra is better off at the weights to a horse that looks to be a danger like Seeking Wisdom. Also, I'm not sure the pace of the race suited her last time, and I think we can expect better from her. But I do think the horse to beat is number 4, Follow the Star, racing from the Cape Yard of Glen Cotton in really good form. I think she's the horse to beat, and therefore also goes into the PA. PA gets 3 inclusions in leg 3, 1, 2 and 8. I do think that Magnum Fire stands out here, but when these maiden plates over distances look as open as they do, it is safer to go a little bit wider, and I will include number 1, Magnum Fire, number 2, Inner Space. I'm expecting better from him back on grass, and number 8, Cape Battis, who's holding some really steady form. 3 horses as well in the next leg of the PA, which is race 5, 1, 8 and 9. Dirty Martini, I think that although having his post-maiden run here, he is worth including, but expecting big runs from the fillies, or the fairer sex, should I say, in the race, the fillies and the filly and the mare, number 8, Wings of Fire, and number 9, Winter's Awakening. A banker for me in race 6, which is leg 5 of the PA, and here Global Drummer. I think he's in the right form. He is on the right side of 3, coming up against Older here once again, and I think this time he can find the winner's box. Race 7, our feature of the afternoon, the listed East Cape Nursery. I really think that horses 2 and 3 stand out for me here. They are Norton Sound, a local horse, and number 3, Silver Salmon from the Glen Cotton Yard, and both of them will go into my PA. Last leg of the PA, a little bit wider again here. Some really nice form in this merit rated 80 divided handicap. Always nice to sit with that problem. And all of 1, 5 and 6, Torrio Lake, Evie's First and Lucky Dancer will close off for me in the PA. Pick 6 gets underway in race 3, which is off at 25 to 2. And as far as the first leg of the pick 6 is concerned, the PA numbers of 1 and 4 go in, and I then boost with horse number 2, Seeking Wisdom. A lot of respect for Follow the Star and Calandra. Seeking Wisdom looks to have more to do on paper as far as the weights are concerned with Calandra, but this mare is just so honest and she's not to be left out. Race 4, and the PA numbers 1, 2 and 8, which are Magnum Fire, Inner Space and Cape Battis, are definite inclusions, and added to that I will include the Raider, number 5, Go Ahead. I will say his form might not jump off the page at you, but you always have to respect Cape form in the maidens, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Race 5, which is leg 3 of the pick 6, 1, 8 and 9 are horses from the PA, Dirty Martini, the fillies, Wings of Fire and Winter's Awakening, and added to that I will include number 2, Better Days. The yard were a little bit disappointed with his post-maiden run last time out and do feel he can do better, so I've gone a bit wider with him, as well as number 5, Bold Strike, whose rating has fallen drastically, and although he's not yet bounced back to form, I'm waiting. It's going to be someday soon, so just gone a little bit wider with those 2, just in case there's an upset to be had. Race 6 over 1,200 meters, and the PA banker of number 1, Global Drummer, will stand as my pick 6 banker as well. I think he's in the right form. I think he's strong enough now to take on Older, and I do think he's certainly well performed over course and distance. So ticking a lot of boxes, he will stay as my banker. Now, the nursery. I don't think this race is as open and shut as it may appear coming across as a small field. I think that we've got the Cape form, which has not bumped any local form. In fact, the three colts that catch the attention here being Norton Sound, Whatever Next, and Crusador, they've never met each other either. There's very little to be able to weigh each other up against. And as such, I have decided to go field in the pick 6, because I think that if the Cape horse doesn't find the winner's box, I think that all the locals have got a decent enough chance of doing so. So all of the 6 strong field will be included in my pick 6. Last of the day, my standout numbers here, 1, 5 and 6 being Evie's First, Torrio Lake and Lucky Dancer, and I will boost them with the likes of number 3, Makara, who was a good winner against Stronger last time out, and as well as number 4, Kingston Rock, who makes his local debut for the Graveyard and races off really capable Natal form, and certainly not without chance if he brings his best, so he'll go in as well. As far as the jackpot is concerned, it is exactly the same as the legs of the pick 6, leg 2 through to leg 5 of the pick 6, so I'm not going to reiterate them. I stick with the same numbers and the same banker in the way of Global Drummer. Which brings me to my best and value bets, and I'm sure by now you have worked out that Global Drummer will be my best bet on the day. And Global Drummer, he races in race 6, which is over 1,200 meters. It's merit rated 97 divided handicap. He catches the eye for me, he stands out, and he will be my best bet. Through to the last of the day, race 8, and here I think a bit of value could be the likes of number 5, Evie's First. He is going to have to run. It's a field that really has some decent form in it, but I think that he's only starting to really come to himself. There's more to look forward to from him, and he will be my value of the day. Race 8, number 5, Evie's First. Well, thanks for listening to my breakdown of the card for this Friday in the Eastern Cape. Really looking forward to racing this Friday. I hope you are too.